But the mob did not just shatter the windows of the Capitol. They shattered the ideals we took for granted. They did not just break down the doors of the building that housed American democracy. They trampled the very principles on which our country was founded. Now, I grew up in Austria. I'm very aware of Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass. It was a night of rampage against the Jews carried out in 1938 by the Nazi equivalent.
Remember when Arnold said, "I'll be back"? Well, he's back all right, and he's got Trump in his sights. The Terminator just went nuclear on the former president, and the internet can't stop talking about it.
I did not hold him totally responsible because our neighbor was doing the same thing to his family, and so was the next neighbor over. I heard it with my own ears and saw it with my own eyes. Now, I've never shared this so publicly because it is a painful memory. But my father would come home drunk once or twice a week, and he would scream and hit us. Physical pain from the shrapnel in their bodies and an emotional pain from what they saw or did. It all started with lies and lies and lies and intolerance.
But what exactly did Arnie say that's got everyone buzzing? And why is Trump suddenly looking like a 98-pound weakling next to our favorite Austrian oak? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Now, I do not believe it is, but I do believe that we must be aware of the dire consequences of selfishness and cynicism. President Trump sought to overturn the results of an election. So being from Europe, I've seen firsthand how things can spin out of control. I know there is a fear in this country and all over the world that something like this could happen right here. And of a fair election. He sought a coup by misleading people with lies. My father and our neighbors were misled also with lies.
Remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Donald Trump were best buds? Yeah, those days are as gone as Trump's natural hair color. Picture this. It's 2004, and Arnold's cracking jokes about Trump's infamous do at the Republican National Convention. Everyone's laughing, Trump's probably fuming under that golden mop, but hey, it's all in good fun, right? Fast forward to 2016, and suddenly Arnold's singing a different tune. He announces he can't vote for Trump, and you can almost hear the record scratch. Uh-oh, looks like there's trouble in the land of spray tans and muscles. Now, Trump being Trump, he doesn't take this lying down. Oh no, he's got Twitter fingers, and he's not afraid to use them. Instead of, focusing on running the country or learning how government works, he starts tweeting about Arnold's Celebrity Apprentice ratings, because that's totally what presidents should worry about.
But what are we to make of those elected officials who have enabled his lies and his treachery? I will remind them of what Teddy Roosevelt said. Patriotism means to stand by the country, and I know where such lies lead. President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever. The good thing is that he soon will be as irrelevant as an old tweet. Now, John F. Kennedy wrote a book called Profiles in Courage. A number of members of my own party, because of their own spinelessness, would never see their names in such a book, I guarantee you.
Right? Not the economy, not foreign policy, but whether people are watching D-list celebrities try to sell lemonade. But our boy Arnold isn't about to let Trump have the last word. He fires back, telling Trump to focus on running the country instead of obsessing over some silly TV show. Burn! It's like watching two bodybuilders argue over who has the better spray tan technique. As Trump's presidency rolls on, Arnold's criticism gets louder and louder. It's like he's got a megaphone and he's channeling his inner Terminator. I'll be back with more sick burns. You can almost hear him saying it in that iconic accent. By the end of Trump's term, their friendship is deader than Trump's chances of winning a Nobel Peace Prize. It's a classic Hollywood breakup story, but instead of paparazzi photos, we get angry tweets and viral videos. But folks, this breakup was just the beginning. Arnold was about to go full Terminator on Trump, and let me tell you, it's more entertaining than watching Trump try to close an umbrella.
Within hours, the Senate and the House of Representatives were doing the people's business and certifying the election of President-elect Biden. What a great display of democracy. They're complicit with those who carried the flag of self-righteous insurrection into the Capitol. But it did not work. Our democracy held firm. Now, I grew up Catholic. I went to church, to Catholic school. I learned the Bible and my catechism and all of this.
Who knew that the guy who once played a killer robot from the future would end up being one of democracy's strongest defenders? So folks, remember when Arnold was just flexing his muscles on the big screen? Well, turns out he's been pumping some serious political iron too. When the Capitol riot went down, it was like someone swapped Arnie's protein shake for a can of whoop ass. Our favorite Austrian oak decided it was time to terminate some lies. Picture this. Arnold, probably wearing his "I'll be back" pajamas, fires up his camera and drops a video that hits harder than a predator punch. He goes full kindergarten cop on Trump, but instead of teaching kids, he's schooling a president. Now, Schwarzenegger doesn't mess around. He compares the Capitol riot to Kristallnacht in Nazi Germany. Talk about a heavy lift, even for Mr. Universe. But wait, there's more. Arnold shares a story about his dad, who was in the Nazi party. He's basically saying, listen up, you dummies. I've seen this bad movie before, and the sequel sucks even more. But what's a Schwarzenegger video without some props, right? So in true Conan style, he whips out his sword, because nothing says I'm defending democracy like waving around a giant piece of overcompensation, am I right? Then comes the real hasta la vista baby moment. Arnold calls Trump the worst president ever and a failed leader. Ouch, that's gotta hurt more than getting your hand crushed by a Terminator. It's like he looked at Trump and said, you're fired. Oh wait, wrong catchphrase. Arnold didn't stop there. He got all deep and philosophical, saying, I know where lies lead, and I'm not going to let that happen again. It's like he's the Socrates of action heroes, but with better biceps. The video spread faster than Trump's spray tan in a rainstorm. It was everywhere. Probably even made its way into Mar-a-Lago's golden toilets. People were sharing it like it was the last slice of pizza at a frat party. Well, folks, it looks like the Terminator isn't done with Trump just yet. This political grudge match is shaping up to be more entertaining than a blockbuster summer flick. Arnold's been flexing his political muscles, and Trump's been tweeting up a storm. But here's the kicker. Some folks are predicting even wilder scenarios for their next showdown. Picture this. Trump, determined to prove he's tougher than the Austrian oak, decides to lift Conan's sword. Can you imagine the orange one struggling with that hefty prop? It'd be like watching a toddler try to pick up Thor's hammer. Talk about a comedy goldmine. But jokes aside, this ongoing back and forth between Schwarzenegger and Trump's team shows that neither side is backing down. It's like a never-ending political arm wrestling match with democracy as the prize. So grab your popcorn, folks. This show's far from over, and the next episode might just be the most ridiculous yet.